konnichiwa, Wataru desu. Hey guys, so in today's video we're going to be telling you guys our top 5 anime. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. So Casamassina is basically a supernatural world. You have fire magic users, wind magic users, and earth magic users. Now the main characters are Ren, Ayano, and Kazuma. Now Ayano and Kazuma, they're I guess more main characters. Kazuma ends up becoming Ayano's bodyguard, and during this process we see how they end up I guess solving problems, like supernatural problems, and how they end up falling in love. Now, the reason why I love Casamassina is because of the main character, Ayano. Ayano is super skilled. She's really good at using fire magic, and she's going to be the successor. Now, another thing why I love this anime is because it has, it's supernatural, and it really gives me a different feel of usually the anime that I watch. So it's really cool, and I really recommend it. So Semikids is about a girl named Nanami Momozuno. Now, she ends up becoming the goddess of a shrine. Now at first she's reluctant, she doesn't want to do it, but eventually she ends up accepting the role. Now throughout the show you see how she ends up learning how important her role is, and she ends up loving it. Now throughout the way she ends up falling in love with her familiar, really handsome guy. Really handsome yokai. Now the reason why I love this anime so much is not only because Nanami is so cute, so sweet, and so compassionate, but also because Tomoe which is her main, I guess, her love interest. He is so cute. I love him. He's like so elegant. Now this anime overall, like once you finish the whole, like all the seasons, well there's just 2 seasons, and the OVAs, you end up seeing that overall in the end it really was such a sweet love story. In the end it really is one complete love story. I don't know how to explain it, but once you watch it I think it'll make sense. Yeah, we recommend it. Yes. So Special A is about a group of students. These students go to an elite school. Now these students are the top 7 students, and because they are the top 7 students, they are part of I guess a class called Special A. And that's the name of the anime, so that's where you get the name. Now these group of students are really good friends, but the main characters really are Hikari Hanazono and Kei Takashima. Now Hikari, ever since she was little, she has wanted to, I guess, challenge Kei, because when they were smaller they challenged each other, or she challenged him, and she lost. So since then she's been second place. So she said, I'm going to be first place, and now they're in high school and she still hasn't been first place. So really it's such a sweet story, and something that's really, I feel like it makes the plot even more interesting really, is that they're rivals and friends, but something that she doesn't know and is completely oblivious is that he is actually in love with her, and he's been in love with her since they were really young. So it really does make the plot more interesting because he's in love with her, but they're rivals. Now, although they are the main characters, we do see how the other characters end up having, I guess, their own love interests, and you see kind of their little romances among them, right? But then you also see how they have a really nice relationship, and that's something that I really love about this anime, is that it's not only about romance, it's about a group of friends, which is super cute, and I just love that. The next anime we're going to be talking about is Nabokov Secret Service. The main character is Ririchio. She has sort of trouble making friends, and she kind of developed this trouble of being rude to people in general, and not trying to be close to anyone because of her childhood trauma of having friends and teachers be nice to her just so that they appeal to her family, who was from a very wealthy and high status. She ends up moving into this apartment complex, and in this apartment complex everyone gets their own bodyguard. So she ends up getting a very handsome bodyguard named Mikitsugami. She's in her teens, and you sort of see her going through high school and sort of the troubles that she has. It is supernatural because everyone living in that building are all half yokai, or they're descendants of some sort of yokai. So there is a lot of supernatural elements in this anime, which we both loved. The graphics are, I gotta say, one of the best in our opinion. We love it so much. It's just different from any other anime. They're like futuristic. It is. I don't know how to explain it. We loved it so much, and you just see how Mikitsugami is so devoted to Richio and sort of the struggles that she goes through. So it's really nice. One of our favorite anime, and we loved it so much that we even got the manga to but it's just one of our favorites. I love it so much. So the number one favorite anime, we have two. Let's go with the first one, named Akutsuki no Yona. The main character is named Yona, and she's sort of spoiled, very naive. She's a princess of Koka Kingdom, and she pretty much was raised by her father because her mother died at a very young age. She has two best friends, Hak and Suwon. She's in love with Suwon, and Hak is in love with her, so it's sort of like a love triangle. And unfortunately, her father is killed by her best friend Suwon. Now, through the story, you end up seeing her become both mentally and physically strong. She ends up learning how to use the bow and arrow, which is really, really cool. And she becomes just very, very independent. Throughout the story, she ends up meeting these 4 dragons. And it's sort of like a tale in the anime itself. She's not too sure if it exists or not, but she really wants to find these dragons to protect both herself and Hak, who she cares for deeply. And throughout the story, they end up becoming really close, and they all sort of help the people of Koka Kingdom, which is really, really great. Now, one of the reasons why I love this anime is firstly because of the romance between Hak and Yona. I think we both love that. He's also very devoted to Yona. He really cares about her, and it's sort of cool how she starts off from being very naive, very dependent on her father and everything, and she becomes very independent, wants to become strong. So sort of different from a lot of anime girls, where she wants to protect herself. She wants to, you know, not depend on a man all the time. So that's what we thought was really cool. Now, our number one favorite anime is Fruits Basket. Now, this anime revolves around the main character, Toru Honda, who has recently lost her mother. She ends up living with the Soma family, and the main characters are Yuki, which is sort of the prince of her school. He's very handsome, acts a lot like a prince. That's why he's called Prince Yuki. Then there's Kyo, who's very rebellious. It's really hard for him to make friends. He just doesn't really like anyone. But you end up finding out he's super sweet. Then there's Shigure, who is sort of the adult in the house. He's very funny at times. I feel like it really it adds that sort of comedy into the anime. So he's probably one of our favorite characters as well. Now, Shigure, Yuki, and Kyo are all relatives. They are cousins, and they sort of let in Toru into their household. And what's really cool about this, is a nice twist to it, is that they're all cursed. The Soma family is all cursed with turning into the animals of the Chinese zodiac. So Yuki turns into a rat, Kyo turns into a cat, and Shigure turns into a dog. Now, it doesn't happen all of a sudden. It usually happens when you are hugged by the opposite sex. So in the first episode, she ends up hugging Yuki, and just different things that happen, and they end up turning into the animals of the zodiac. So she's very surprised, she's freaking out. So it is really, really a great anime. It's very fun to see sort of her reactions, but it's very slice of life, because you do end up seeing a lot of the struggles that this family has, and how hard it is for them to make friends because they can't actually share their secret. Now, some quick news. This anime is actually going to be made into a remake. I'm not sure when it's going to come out, but I'm super, super excited. Well, we're both super, super excited because they're actually going to finish the anime. So they only had like, what, one season? There was a couple.
Just one season, yeah.
Yeah, we're a couple episodes, and it's just, you want more by the end. Yes, so we're super excited they're going to finish it, and there is a lot of romance. There's comedy. It's just one of our ultimate favorite anime. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video. We had a lot of fun making it. We hope you guys, you know, try watching these anime. We really, really love them, so we really, really recommend you guys to check them out. Please check out our Instagram. We've been working really hard on it and trying to make it as kawaii and pastel as possible for you guys. If you guys want to see any more of these similar type of videos, please let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please press that little notification bell to be notified of any of the new videos we're going to be making. Thank you guys all for watching. Bye, guys!